Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In our last Gen AI tutorial, we have seen at a very high level what is Gen AI, then how it is different from machine learning, and then we have seen some of the examples of Gen AI, as in text generation. We talked about writing email, essays, and then even writing the code. Now, in this tutorial, let's understand some more details about Gen AI. More details as in from a working model perspective, or how Gen AI works, or how Gen AI creates the new content basically, right? So as we already know now, Gen AI needs huge volume of data to generate the new content, and basically more you train it, more accurate training data you apply to Gen AI, the better will be the new content that's been generated by Gen AI algorithm, right? So basically the Gen AI algorithm, right? So this Gen AI algorithm was trained on a model called as GPT-3 model, right? So Gen AI is trained on GPT-3 model, and this GPT-3 model uses 500 billion words as the training data. So basically, this GPT-3 model is kind of a core base for all the application who are considered as a Gen AI application. Let's try to understand this particular thing. Gen AI is kind of GPT-3. This GPT-3, whatever we are writing here, is one of a base or core of Gen AI, right? Okay, this is one of the model that can be used to generate a new content. Now there are various applications, like for example, last time when we discussed, so ChatGPT is one of the application who is considered as a Gen AI application. So this ChatGPT uses GPT-3 GPT-3 model as its core library. Basically it uses that core library, and then they have done lots of other things on the top of this particular this particular GPT-3 model. Like they have their own UI, few other facilities that they give. We are going to see that very soon. But at a core of ChatGPT, let's say, or any currently well-known Gen AI application, like we have ChatGPT, Copilot, Fin.com, all these applications of Gen AI, they uses GPT-3 model. And can you imagine that GPT-3 model uses, or it is being trained 500 billion words as its training data. So if you can just imagine that, basically what would be the accuracy of that particular algorithm, or the output of this new content that's been generated by ChatGPT. And we all are amazed by seeing the accuracy of the outputs whenever we ask any question to ChatGPT or any other Gen AI platform. It's really accurate, and the reason for that is the way it has been trained, and the kind of a input that has been given to this GPT-3 model. So worth remembering this point. Apart from that, now in general, what is the input that the Gen AI algorithm use, or what kind of data set it uses to train the model, right? So data set Gen AI uses as training data. So it's a very huge resource. Basically all the images that are available on the internet. So basically it uses internet itself as a data set to train the Gen AI model. So whatever images that are available on the internet, then various snippets of the code that are available on all the open source websites, like you have stackoverflow.com, then you have github.com, which is also open source repository for all sorts of code. And you just can imagine, like, it uses that entire github repos as its source of truth. Let's say we have asked a question to ChatGPT, write this Python code for me to do so and so activity. So it is gonna refer all the resources that are available on GitHub, on internet, and it is gonna learn and create a new code for you, right, which is very specific to your use case and whatnot, right? Then it uses the open web resources like Wikipedia, then GitHub, various books that are available on open source. It could be a free version of that book, or if a tool decides to make a paid partnership with some of the educational sites like Orally and whatnot, then they will be able to use that. Obviously there will be some kind of licensing coming into the picture, but I'm just making a possibility, or devolving a possibility that okay, this could also happen, and it could use those kinds of resources as a source of truth before generating the new content. And that's why, since it has all these references, all these training data, all these reference points, obviously the accuracy of that particular answer, whatever question you're gonna ask, is going to be a very very accurate, right? So that is how a Gen AI algorithm, or the basic of Gen AI algorithm is. It GPT-3 model, it's been trained on a very huge data, which is 500 billion words. And then rest of the things that we have talked about, that how like what exactly it uses to generate a new content and whatnot. Now let's try to understand, let's try to actually take a look at how it works. So as we all know, ChatGPT is one of the very famous tool nowadays. And here is a demo that I'm gonna present, and let's try to understand this so that we understand Gen AI very clearly, right? So basically this is the UI of ChatGPT, and here you can just ask anything, right? So basically you give me 10 ideas to present, or 10 best resources to learn Python, right? That's a simple question. So what here it does is, it will just search it all over the internet, all over the reference points that it is gonna have, and then it will give you the consolidated result, which is very specific, crafted for your question, and it is gonna put that in front of you. So we asked for 10 different ideas, and as you can see, it has given us exact 10 ideas with all the links and descriptions, and a properly configured or crafted message for you, that you can go through these resources, python.org. Then there are a few more websites that it has suggested: Coursera course, Code Academy, Python crash course, and there are 10 different resources that we have asked for. So this is nothing but a generation of new content. So we have been talking about, it generates a new content, it generates a new content, and this is how it has a capability. This particular ChatGPT or GPT-3 model has a capability to generate the new content based on all its references. And as you can see, the statement which I just made, that it uses the internet itself as a reference, right? As you can see here, data set Gen AI uses as a training data is the internet itself, right? And if you see below, then it it gives you some links as well. So obviously it gives you from where it has got all this information and those kinds of details in front of you, right? So this is one of the example, and we can see some more examples of Gen AI or Chat GPT. Now let's say we wanted to write a Python code, right? So write a Python code for me to uh, let's say copy a GCS file from, let's say we have two folders, folder A to folder B, and let's see what it gives, right? So it says sure to copy a file from one folder to another, we have to use this package Google Cloud Storage, and this is a readily available Python code snippet of code for you. It has created a function, it has given the proper name to that function. It also does the best practices, that it accepts certain parameters so that your code is generalized one, and then it gives you the code. You here what you just need to do is you just have to replace the folder A and folder B values with your actual folder names, and obviously the file names that you want to copy, and your program is ready to go. So you see at this particular these kinds of tools, the accuracy. Now if you see, this is a new generation of content, right? Like we have asked for some content, it has generated it for us. Now why we can say that it is a new content is because you see these folder names, like whatever folder names you have mentioned in your question, it has exactly taken those names, it has taken those names with the same context, and then it has created the code. It has not named this folder by his own thought process, and that's the reason it knows how to read the question, it knows what is the significance of that, and in what context we should use that in the code that is going to get generated. So now it must have referred for all these kinds of libraries, and whether to use this library or which library to suggest and all this, it must have referred Google documentation, various websites, Stack Overflow, whatnot. But it has crafted this after all that learning. The snippet of a code which is in front of you is been crafted just for your use case, just for the question that you have asked. Now if you just replace these folders, right, if you just replace these folders with actual name, maybe name of your actual folder is, let's say, SAS T1, and the name of another folder is SAS T2, so it will definitely use these two folders in the actual code that's been written. So if I just click send here, and now if we see the code that's been generated, then it will use these actual two folders into your code to actually convey that the folders are getting transferred from SAS1 to SAS2. Now if you can see here, it has considered your source blob name as SAS1, and your destination blob name is SAS2 T2. And obviously if you have given the names of the file in the question, then definitely it is gonna include it here as well. So this is what I mean, that when it generates the new content, this is what it does. It knows how to read the question, it knows what is the context of it, and it knows how to write it, where to write it, and all these kinds of things. Now if you can see here is, it has also given you steps to run the script as well. The point which I'm trying to make here is, in your last, if you remember the last output, then it has not given the steps to execute your Python program, but here in this it has given you the steps to run the script. The meaning of this is, the Gen AI algorithm or the chat gpt sites, or the similar sites as that of chat gpt, are not deterministic. Okay, so that means if you ask the same question to chat gpt at two different times, then there is a possibility that it will generate two different outputs for you, because there are hundreds of way to tell a answer of a same question, right? And that's the reason that we cannot expect the determined output from any of the chat gpt or gen ai application, right? So I hope you must have understood how a chat gpt and gen ai tools are connected. There are a couple of more examples of gen ai tool. Chat gpt is something that we have explored. Then there is one more tool called as copilot, And this Microsoft Edge browser has integrated that particular Copilot Gen AI tool within the browser as an extension. So if you just download Microsoft Edge, and if you just see here, then you'll see this particular symbol, and this is a Gen AI assistant for your Microsoft Edge, right? They have a partnership, and basically that's how it has been integrated, right? So basically this is also a tool. We are going to discuss about this tool in our next video, and I'll show you how to exactly use it and how it is different from ChatGPT. So thanks guys, thanks for watching this tutorial. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.